Welcome to City Skylines. My name is Ben and I'm an urban geographer. Today we look at urban islands. What are urban islands? Why do I follow the urban islands model? And how do they translate out into real cities? We will also just finish off last week's series with the plan and build, the expansion and the consolidation. And then we'll take a look at the new engineering school that I built, which is being nicknamed, rather interesting or ironically, MIT. So just capping off from last week with the plan and build, the expansion and the consolidating. The plan and building is that you do your spatial planning, you run your infrastructure ahead, ready for the urban development, and then you do your good old-fashioned city building. Classic example would be right here. The Monaco City Centre, the Twin City Centre to Leighton City Centre, where this will act as the main city centre. As you can see, the railway station's ready to go. Bus station's ready to go. Even have a cargo rail station ready to go. And the metro station is ready to go. So and if we go underground, the piping and nope, haven't brought the power in yet. So the infrastructure is ready to go. So the planning being, this is a city centre, so this will be built at high density accordingly, with the residential and further industry going around that, and then connecting back into the existing Leighton area through Watson Heights and in part up through Franklin. So that's the city building. The expansion is just adding on from where you last left off. So in that series we had left off at the East End. Since then Parnell has established, as well as MIT and the Franklin district. And then consolidation is just backfilling or upzoning and periodically checking your transport system, which I did offline. So let's go. Given it's early in the morning, it's quite a bit. Yes, you can see some of these buses are running quite full and we're moving passengers around. So, the urban islands model, how did that come about and why do I like to follow it? Well, this discussion actually comes up on LinkedIn more often than not. We'll just get the city going. So the urban island model is designed, it can run with either a mono center city, or it can run with a dual, or technically polycore, although polycore cities don't technically exist. But they are more suited to dual core cities like Auckland, Monaco, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Sydney, Parramatta, as examples. So the idea of the urban island model is that instead of having one continuous mass of urban sprawl spanning from one city centre or two city centres and just going out in all directions as the geography and topography allows, is that you break up the city or the region into smaller islands. So your main island and your two main islands, or two main islands, depending on how many city centres you're running, are always going to be that, your city centres. They are the core, they are the heart, the brain. And then you do your residential development going up from that, and then you have industry nearby servicing that. industry being the heart of the city itself. But what happens is that using things like motorways are a good one, railways are another, or green belts. Green belts, which includes water, is a superb version. You break up the urban sprawl a bit and you create these urban geographic islands. And each island is a semi-independent but interdependent urban area that can provide local or sub-regional amenities for the given area, for your basic day-to-day needs and your basic supporting jobs, while at the same time using the transport links can service other areas of the city. The idea of an urban island is twofold. One is to cut down cross-city commuting for work. The second one is to provide informal green space, which is, in this day and age, not only for climatic change and pollution and noise, but also for your mental health. Humans are social species, but we're also a green species. We love our green, and when we're in the green and in these informal spaces out in the environment, it just helps us unwind. So the urban island, urban geography effect basically helps cut down those those cross-city commuting through providing your basic local sub-regional amenities and employment. So helps there, and plus it provides those green pockets, those green corridors to green your city, not only for physical environment but for the human environment as well. Technically, Auckland does not operate in an urban island model per se. We have gone in the one contiguous sprawl or mess, even with the Waitemata Harbour and the Narrow Point, Otahu and the Isthmus. We're not strictly urban island per se. However, if I was to extend it a bit, you could say the North Shore could be one. The Isthmus and West Auckland's the other, and South Auckland would be the other urban island. However, because where industry is placed, concentrated primarily in the south, the urban island system doesn't technically work well. So then you have so you've got a twin city model, Auckland and South Auckland, Auckland City Centre, Manukau City Centre, but the urban islands are lacking, hence we've got the problems. So how does the urban island look like? Well, there's technically three in effect. You've four actually. Meadow Heights and Kent Heights is one. Watson Heights is technically another. Brownville and the Leighton City Centre is another. East End, Parnell, Franklin District is another. And then you've got Manukau here, and then you've got the standalone industry there. So in the next part, we will go into the university and see what I got up to.